Are we witnessing a true revolution, or is this all temporary? What's going on, YouTube? It's your girl Monique Nicole, and I am back with another video. If you are new to my channel, or if you are a returning guest, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Please click that button down there that says subscribe. Click that button, and also please give this video a thumbs up and support your girl. I greatly appreciate it. Today, you guys, we're gonna go a little bit deep, okay? We're gonna go a little bit heavy. I have been kind of avoiding talking about everything that's been going on in the news. I've truly been avoiding it. It was getting rather depressing, overwhelming. It was just consuming me in a way that was not healthy. So I've been kind of stalling on making a video about the things that have been going on in our country right now, surrounding the Black community, surrounding police brutality, Black Lives Matter, etc., etc. But today, it was on my heart and spirit to go ahead and make a video. And basically this video is, I'm really posing a question to myself and to you guys. Are we on the cusp of a revolution, or is this all just gonna be temporary? I know for sure in my 30 years of life, this is the most solidarity I have seen for the Black community, especially in relation to police brutality. I've just never seen it to this magnitude. I mean, we've had, listen, let's start from the beginning. So this all started, what, 2 to 3 months ago? First was Ahmaud Arbery. Then there was Breonna Taylor. Then Georgefloyd, and then as of just last week, Rayshard Brooks. Multiple situations back to back to back. And it's all happening during a pandemic, which I do wonder if that is a reason why, partially why there has been so much attention on this more than ever. Maybe more people are just home and more people have the news on, more people are just tuned in and plugged in. You know, Ahmaud Arbery, that happened, gosh, a few months ago, maybe 5 months ago, I think the actual incident happened. And then we as the public didn't get wind of it until about 2 months ago. This happened here in Georgia, South Georgia. He was jogging, wasn't bothering anybody. 3 white men followed him, chased him, harassed him, fought with him, and then shot him to death. Innocent, unarmed. It made national news. I don't know if it made worldwide news. Breonna Taylor, that happened, I think, a couple months ago. Her story is just now getting the proper notoriety. It's still not as spoken about or on the news as some of the other Black men that have fallen victim, but her case is just as heartbreaking as anyone else's. I mean, she was in the comfort of her own home, guys, the safest place, really, your home. And I believe the police had the wrong house, and no knock, no warning, no nothing, just busted in her home, guns blazing, and shot her dead, cold blood. Horrible. And then Georgefloyd, as we all know, like the entire world knows because it's worldwide. He was killed, Memorial Day. I forget what state it is, but the police were called on him for a $20, I just forgot the word. What's the word, y'all? Oh, shit. I forgot the word. A fake $20 bill, basically, y'all. A fake $20 bill. I forget the proper terminology right now. It's a fake $20 bill. Okay. Cops were called. They arrested him, and the officers thought it was a good idea to place his knee on Georgefloyd's neck for 8 minutes. He said he could not breathe. Other people recording and saying, hey, like, stop, he can't breathe, he cannot breathe. The officers ignored everyone, and he died on camera within 8 minutes. It was horrific. I couldn't watch the full thing, but I saw enough, and what I saw was deeply, deeply disturbing. And then as of last week, Rayshard Brooks, he was in a Wendy's parking lot. That incident actually happened here in Atlanta, Georgia. He was in a Wendy's parking lot sitting in his car. He had some drinks earlier that night, but he was doing the responsible thing of not drinking and driving. He was sleeping in his car. Cops were called. That video was disturbing in a different way because we actually got to see the dialogue prior to the incident. And when I watched it, I had no idea that it was gonna turn left the way it did. He seemed like a well-spoken person. He was speaking to the officer very calmly. The officers seemed calm at first. As the conversation kept going, mind you, he let the officer know. He was like, I was drinking, I was with my girl, we got into a fight, what have you. He was drinking, he was drunk. He decided to stay in his car and sleep it off. He was like, look, my sister's house is like a mile or two up the road. I could literally walk there. Like, I'm not gonna drive. I promise you, I'm not gonna drive. The officers did not really offer him any type of alternative. Just several questions. The officer basically asked him, did he want to take like a breathalyzer test? He said, okay, sure. I don't want to eject, you know, I don't want to cause problems. So he agreed. I guess the number was too high. The officer then became, sorry y'all, there's hair in my face. The officer then became freaking aggressive and then grabbed him and arrested him. I did not understand why they arrested him. I didn't understand it. I'll have to like Google the law, but I thought that it does not count as a DUI if you're not operating a vehicle. He was sleeping in his car, so I don't know why they arrested him. To me, they could have drove him to his sister's house, which was a mile up the road, but they arrested him. And then unfortunately, Rayshard Brooks fought back, which was not a good idea. I'm not gonna sit here and justify it. It was not a good idea to fight back or refuse arrest, and things got bad and they shot and killed him. Very tragic. It did not have to go that way. I really advise, if you haven't watched the whole video, including the dialogue prior to the shooting, I really advise that you guys go on the internet and find that. But with all of these incidents, more so the Georgefloyd incident, it has like, oh my gosh, erupted something in this nation that I've never seen in my 30 years of life. We're talking protests in all 50 states, you guys, all 50 states in America, there were protests. That's never happened before. Other countries were protesting. This was major. This is worldwide. So it was just, it's been a lot. And then with the protests, we've even had companies all over the country come out, speak out in solidarity, in support of Black Lives Matter. And gosh, even the acknowledgement of Juneteenth, which, I mean, honestly, let's keep it a buck. Even in the Black community, Juneteenth was not really even acknowledged really up until a few years ago. I first heard about Juneteenth maybe four years ago for the first time, and I'm Black. So what does that say? Nonetheless, I'm a little baffled by all the solidarity. I think it's because I'm not used to us getting that type of support. While I appreciate it and I want all the support, again, I feel like we can't do it on our own. You know what I mean? I think in the Black community we could do better, but I don't feel like we can do it on our own. Excuse me. I think it does take other allies from other communities and other cultures along with us. And honestly, again, with these protests, I'm so inspired by all the people, all the ages, all the races, ethnicities I'm seeing that are protesting and just putting themselves out there. And especially when things were getting aggressive and like they had military out there and Donald Trump's stupid ass threatening us, basically. It was just, I love the solidarity. I want it to continue, But with that, a part of me is still like on the fence. Is this all genuine? Is this going to last? Is this going to be different? Is this going to be a revolution? Are we going to sit here and this is going to be a temporary thing that we look back on and be like, wow, those 3-4 months of solidarity that we got from the nation, that was amazing. Too bad it didn't last. Like, I don't want that for us. I don't want that. I want this to continue. And I don't know, you guys, you know, just with the corporations and everybody, it's just, it almost makes you feel like, I don't question everyone. I know there are people who are genuinely wanting to support, but it does make me start to question and think, is this genuine? Are you just releasing a statement because you don't want to look racist? You know what I mean? Or are you being genuine with your comments, with your statement, with your support, with your love? Is it genuine? I don't know. I question some things. Again, I'm not questioning every single person, every single company, every single brand, but I'm questioning some. I'm definitely questioning some. An example, a prime example is Bravo. Now, I love the Bravo network. I literally watch like almost every single show on there. I'm a Bravo fanatic. With the show Vanderpump Rules, 2 of the main stars, Stassi, I forget her name, and Kristen. Stassi and Kristen were fired from Bravo, from the TV show. Again, they are like 2 of the main stars of the show. So this was a huge deal. Like, people were shook. People were shook. Like, people that work in Bravo were shook. Fans were shook. They were basically fired. Let's see, how can I wrap this up? Long story short, maybe 2-3 years ago or so, there was this black girl that was, she wasn't a part of the show, but she worked at the restaurant. She was a part of the staff at Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant in Beverly Hills. That's what the show is about, if you guys don't watch it. There was this black girl, I ain't gonna lie, she was thotting and bopping. She slept with one of the dudes, and he was married, not married, sorry. He had a girlfriend at the time, and she slept with him, and it was a whole thing. And these bitches were like scheming and plotting and trying to figure out how they're gonna get her back, how should they get her back. So apparently during this time, there was a string of crimes going on where the person was described as a black girl, I think light-skinned with tattoos or whatever. So Stassi and Kristen were like, oh, we should call the cops on her, on Faith, and tell them that it's Faith. Like, we have the person that's been stealing and all this stuff, and we know her name. And they were gonna pin the crime on her. Extremely first of all, calling the cops on any black person who is not guilty of the crime is beyond problematic, beyond. And so it came back up recently during all this solidarity, and Bravo fired them. My issue is, this is my issue. This incident happened a few years ago, okay? Bravo was well aware of this incident. Stassi publicly spoke about it on her podcast. She publicly spoke about it on her podcast. This was a thing that was talked about. It was known. This wasn't no secret that got, just forgotten about. Everyone knew. All of a sudden, because y'all don't want to look racist or have backlash, now y'all want to do something about it. So let me go back. It came back up recently. Faith, I believe, was on a podcast herself or some type of talk show, whatever, radio station type thing. And she brought up the incident. She was like, hey, this happened. It was a hot mess. Like, it was horrible. This is how it made me feel. It was horrible. And you don't do that. Was Faith wrong for sleeping with someone's man? Of course. But you don't call the cops on someone and like lie about an actual crime. So because it was brought back up, it received attention again, and Bravo fired Stassi and Kristen. Again, my problem, you guys knew about it. You guys never punished them. I don't feel like they should have been fired immediately. Y'all could have suspended them. Y'all could have given them a pay cut. Whatever their punishment could have been, it could have been something. You guys did nothing, right? Fast forward to now. Now you guys want to fire them because you're worried about how you're gonna look. So it just makes me feel a certain way. It's stuff like that, you know what I mean, that makes me kind of side eye certain people, certain corporations, certain companies, certain friends. Like, it's just stuff like that. Like, don't do that right now. Like, come on, like, be genuine. And I'm all about looking back at the error of your ways and trying to improve or make corrections, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm just hoping that this is not going to be temporary and that this will actually truly be, the change. Like, this will be it. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. And we as a country, as a nation, are finally going to come together and change the error of our ways. Our country is so effed up. The amount of history. I mean, if people really looked at the history of this nation. Look, those are my thoughts. I would love to know what you guys think. Do you guys think we are in the midst of a revolution? Or do you think this is going to be temporary? Please, again, like and comment on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Please drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts, okay? Love you guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.